And back we are with the game 2. Untimed as these games are in the top 8, they've had a good little think about their sideboarding options, and there's certainly quite a few interesting little choices in there for both of these decks.
Yeah, Raoul has access to Baneslayer Angel in his sideboard, so I imagine
Just the one?
Just the one.
Yeah. One's enough, though.
Yep. He also has access to Timely Reinforcements, which I imagine he's going to bring in as well.
Well, we saw how devastating the flying tokens were in game 1.
Yep.
It means you have to be a little bit cheeky in the sort of the way you play him around, of course, because you don't want to make the Lingering Souls tokens first.
I mean, if he's only using Pokemon tokens as well, it's all about representation. Cyrus has a pretty... he has a lot of cards he can bring in the proverbial kitchen sink. He's got 3 Rakdos Charm in his board, which against token decks are always useful. He also has access to Olivia Voldaren, who is devastating against weenie decks as well.
Well, of course, with the Rakdos Charm, of course, you can just out-token them.
Yep. Yeah, it's ideal 8 damage before you do.
It's just a case of like, oh yeah, that's fine, I'll play out a Lingering Souls. Do you want to play your Rakdos, Charm yet? No? Okay, I'll beat you up a little bit more. You bait it out of them, and then you go, well, now we'll have a Timely Reinforcement, since you have a creature and I don't. And it's like, well, lucky for me, I draw a second Charm, and then, of course, yet more Lingering Souls comes out. So
yep.
It's one of those cards that, in theory, is really good, but, you can't go 1-for-1 with all the token generators that Raoul has, Yeah.
Cyrus also has access to 2 Fire Spout in his board, so he more than likely will bring those in against the plethora of tokens that are coming in. And he might...
you can't just... The thing is, he has to bring the Lilianas out, because they're pretty much the worst card in this matchup. But once you've swept away all those little guys, you've still got this slight issue that Raoul has, some big guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, Cyrus might bring in his own Thruns, along with maybe Obstinate Baloth as well. It depends what he wants to pull out of his deck, really. But Cyrus does have access to his own 4/4s, so Thrun and Obstinate Baloth. So he can certainly create a situation where he's ahead in this game.
Well, I mean, Thrun's a better choice in that he can Pyroclasm or do whatever he wants. And knowing that his opponent's not going to be able to sort of do a last few points of damage.
Now there's a card from Raoul. We have, I believe that's Gavany Township in his hand there. Oh, that's a bit of a spicy one. If it goes long game, I think that Cyrus is going to be under the gun.
Yeah, it turns any random crap monster into a beast in games that go long.
Yeah.
You can certainly see a 5/5 token going all the way.
Yep. And Cyrus takes the Timely Reinforcements from Raoul.
Which is the correct play, given that the Deathrite Shaman is very sad at the thought of 3/1/1s appearing.
Yeah. And maybe a slight bit of mana trouble from Raoul here. I mean, if you're making the old Gavany on turn 2, you're generally not a happy panda at that point.
So Cyrus have pretty much got to go balls at it here. He's got to figure that Raoul's in trouble.
I mean, he's using Deathrite Shaman's 4th ability there, which is turning sideways and dealing 1 point of damage. And Dark Confident from Cyrus. And the worst thing, the thing which feels as bad as anything can possibly feel, Path to Exiling a Dark Confident.
Yeah, I mean, in the old days, Jund players would be rubbing their hands at the thought of getting to 4 mana on turn 3 in that way, and here we go. You can pretty much cast every card in his deck now. Multiples of them, in fact.
Yep. And we'll see what Cyrus's sideboard looks like at this point. But Raoul's got to get back into this game.
Now he's going to pretend like he
Well,
didn't just draw that land, that's it. He draws the land, shuffles it in, the rest of his card and goes, oh no, I had it the whole time. I just, for some reason, chose to play
Well,
this
it was
Gathering
Godless
Town
Shrine,
for
not
turn
Temple
2.
Garden, so he still doesn't have access to green. That's timely reinforcements for Raoul, so Cyrus certainly has some options here.
Is that okay, or do you want to bolt your own guy in response?
Well, he can bolt himself in response, that's easy enough. It's just a case of whether he does want to actually bolt his guy as well. But I don't think that 3/1/1s are threatening enough to bolt your own Deathrite Shaman. I just think bolting yourself and making sure Raoul doesn't get the 6 extra life is okay. Because let's face it, it's not as if you're not going to crack that land anyway. So. It was a decision because I was standing slightly behind Cyrus here, and I was thinking, is he actually going to go like all in on this?
Put a land into play, untapped. Take 2.
Yep. Take 2. Let Raoul have his 3/1/1s and then play from there. You can even eat the timely reinforcements to deal 2 damage back to Raoul.
But the main problem here for Cyrus is no one likes pointing removal spells at 1/1s.
No. But I mean, Deathrite Shaman is 1/2. It blocks quite nicely. Until that Gavin
I
is
can't
online.
imagine they're staying 1/1 for that long, or indeed that the Deathrite Shaman might stick around either.
Here come the 4s. That's Obstinate Baloth.
Quite a surprisingly irrelevant card for Raoul, given the amount of tokens he can generate. Cyrus needs to follow it up with some kind of sweeper to get rid of all of these 1/1s.
Thought sees you. What do you got? I got a Lightning Bolt and a Tarmogoyf.
Probably taking the Goyf, to be fair.
Yep, Goyf down. So we're probably going to see the Baloth crashing across here. Yep.
He's going to take it for this turn.
Yep, going down to 8.
It's the correct play at this point.
Cyrus just like, what? What about you discarding my Tarmogoyf away? I think we've seen from both players how they've made the the final here. It's like whenever you make them discard a card, they'll just draw it the next turn.
It's all skill, this game, it's all skill.
Yeah. Nope. We're just having a quick count up on Tarmogoyf.
You need to use your fingers to count in this game as well.
It's quite funny watching all the mannerisms that we've had with Magic, how we've had the pens and the fingers on the cards.
Magic players struggle after they get past 10. Have to start borrowing their opponent's fingers.
That's why people like the Infect deck, isn't it? You only have to count to 10 in that. We're joking. Before we get angry comments. Shoot you for 2 with the Deathrite, and I think that this attack's going to be lethal whichever way Raoul blocks here.
So we've had pretty much 2 maybe non-games of Magic, you could say.
Yeah, 2 pretty one-sided games here. I suppose Raoul does have Abrupt Decay here, but that's not going to that's not really going to help him, because he's going to have to bring in the Overgrown Tomb untapped. So Cyrus is just going to shoot him with the Deathrite Shaman and then shoot him again. So.
And this wraps up game 2. So we get to have a PTQ coming down to 1 game of Magic.